You're looking at the front cover of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the Nintendo Gamecube, specifically a PAL European release. Let's take it apart carefully, because there's a lot packed into this one image. Overall composition. The cover is dominated by a large action photograph of Tony Hawk performing a high, floating skateboard trick above a massive halfpipe. The angle exaggerates height and airtime, selling the fantasy of extreme vertical skating. The sky is a clean blue with light clouds, giving the image a bright, open, summery feel. The halfpipe curves visually frame the title logo in the center, which is clever design. The environment literally points your eyes toward the game's name. The skater. The skater is Tony Hawk himself, wearing a red t-shirt, light-colored shorts, knee pads and wrist guards, a helmet. This is very early 2000s skate culture. Practical gear, no overstylization, more serious sport than punk rebellion. His pose is calm and controlled rather than wild, reinforcing his reputation as a technically precise skater. The logo and typography. The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 logo is bold, thick and metallic, with a black core, yellow/gold outline, a large silver 3. It feels industrial and confident, very much in line with early 2000s sports branding. The logo sits inside a rounded oval badge that resembles a plaque or emblem, giving the game an official and premium vibe. Background details. Inside the halfpipe and beyond it, you can see a skatepark environment, multiple skaters standing and watching, cones and ramps, a coastal or urban promenade in the distance. This suggests an open, social skate scene, not just isolated trick arenas. It quietly hints at the game's variety of levels and lively environments. Skateboarder roster. Along the bottom center, the cover lists the playable pros in capital letters, a bragging point at the time. Caballero, Campbell, Glifberg, Coston, Lasek, Margera, Mullen, Muska, Reynolds, Rowley, Steamer, J. Thomas. This was a huge selling point in the early Tony Hawk games. You weren't just playing a skate game, you were stepping into a real-world skate pantheon. Branding and publishing. At the bottom left, Activision logo, Neversoft logo. Neversoft's presence is important historically. They defined the feel of the Tony Hawk series, especially its physics, trick flow, and sense of speed. On the right, original Nintendo seal of quality, licensed by Nintendo, PAL marking confirming this is the European version. Age rating. Bottom left shows a 15+ rating, European system, reflecting mild violence, music with explicit lyrics in some versions, skate culture themes. At the time, this gave the game a slightly edgier aura without pushing into full adult territory. Condition and physical wear. The box itself shows light surface scratches, edge wear, especially on corners, slight scuffing consistent with normal use. This looks like a well-handled but cared-for copy, not mint but very authentic, exactly what you'd expect from a GameCube title that was actually played. The big picture. This cover perfectly captures early 2000s skateboarding optimism. Skill over chaos, real athletes as heroes, clean but intense visual language. It's confident, sporty and grounded, less rebellious than earlier entries, more professional. In hindsight, it marks the point where the Tony Hawk series fully crossed from subculture into mainstream cultural phenomenon. A frozen moment from when skateboarding, video games, and pop culture briefly aligned just right. This is the back cover of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 for the Nintendo Gamecube, Again, a PAL European edition. This side is pure early 2000s marketing bravado, trying to convince you that this isn't just a sequel, but the definitive skateboarding game. Headline and tone. At the top, in large bold lettering, it says, "Welcome to my world." This is classic Tony Hawk branding. The phrasing positions the player as entering Tony Hawk's personal skate universe, not just loading a game. It's confident, almost cocky, but in a clean, mainstream sports way rather than punk rebellion. Feature list, left column. The bullet points spell out the game's selling points very clearly. You can skate as Tony Hawk or 12 other internationally known pros. 8 massive living levels, emphasizing scale and activity. An improved skatepark editor and Create a Skater, now including female skaters, a notable addition at the time. New tricks, especially the revert move, which allowed players to link vert tricks into combos. This was a huge gameplay evolution. Licensed music, explicitly calling out Red Hot Chili Peppers, Exhibit, and Alien Ant Farm. This list is doing double duty, selling both authenticity, real skaters, real bands, and technical depth, combo systems, editors, scale. Main screenshot, top right. The largest screenshot shows a skater performing a double kickflip indie with a visible trick name, a score counter, 2000, a timer in the corner. This reinforces the core gameplay loop. Tricks are readable, named, scored, and chained. It's almost instructional, reassuring new players that the game is skill-based but learnable. The environment shown looks urban and open, again reinforcing the living level idea. Smaller screenshots, bottom row. 3 smaller images underline different aspects. Interactive environments. One image highlights pedestrians, traffic, and other skaters. The world isn't static, it reacts to you. Customization tools. Another image focuses on the skatepark editor, showing ramps and modular structures. This speaks directly to creativity and replay value. Flatland tricks. The final screenshot highlights new flatland moves like Casper, Primo, and handstand manual, signaling deeper trick variety beyond ramps and vert skating. Together, these images argue that the game is not just about flashy air tricks, but about freedom and expression. Technical and system info. At the top left, small icons note 2-player simultaneous gameplay. Memory card usage, 8 blocks. This quietly promises couch multiplayer, which was a big deal at the time. Lower down, multiple important notices emphasize. This disc works only with PAL Gamecube systems. It is not compatible with Japanese, US, or Brazilian consoles. Very European, very strict, very early 2000s Nintendo. Manufacturing and legal text. Near the bottom, assembled in Germany. PAL model numbers, DOL-PGT3P, DOL-GT3P-UKV. Copyright 2002 Nintendo. Logos for Activision, Neversoft, the original Nintendo seal of quality. The seal is doing symbolic work here, reassurance that this edgy, music-filled skate game is still officially blessed by Nintendo. Physical condition. The case shows noticeable surface scratches, edge wear, a red circular sticker or residue near the top right, likely an old price or rental sticker. This feels like a copy that lived an active life, played, handled, maybe lent out. It has history, not museum vibes. Big picture. The back cover is methodical and confident. It doesn't rely on mystery. It lays everything out. Bigger levels, deeper tricks, better tools, real skaters and real music. This is a product from the moment when skateboarding games were at their cultural peak, selling mastery, creativity, and style in equal measure. The tone says, you already know this series, now here's the version that perfects it.
This is the inside of the Gamecube case for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, open flat so both halves are visible. It's a very early 2000s Nintendo interior. Functional, standardized, and quietly confident. Left side, instruction booklet. On the left, clipped neatly into the plastic tabs, is the full-color instruction manual. The cover art mirrors the front cover. Tony Hawk mid-air above a half-pipe, blue sky, clean daylight. Logos at the bottom include Activision, Neversoft, and the Nintendo Gamecube Cube logo. The text, instruction booklet, confirms this is the proper original manual, not a later reprint or generic insert. This matters to collectors. Many Gamecube games lost their manuals over the years. Having it present and properly seated is a quiet badge of completeness. Right side, the disc. On the right sits the mini DVD Gamecube disc, locked into the distinctive circular hub Nintendo used. The disc label is bright yellow, immediately eye-catching. The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 logo is printed clearly, with the familiar metallic 3. The PAL marking is visible, confirming European compatibility. Branding includes Nintendo Gamecube and publisher markings, consistent with an original retail disc. The disc appears clean and properly centered, no visible cracks around the hub, which is important because Gamecube discs can be fragile there. Case design and molding. The inside of the case itself is classic Nintendo. Embossed Nintendo Gamecube logo in the plastic on the right side. A molded memory card storage slot beneath the disc, meant to hold a Gamecube memory card. Subtle instructional embossing icons near the bottom right, showing how to open and remove items safely. This wasn't flashy design. Nintendo prioritized durability and clarity, and it shows. Condition and wear. The case shows light scuffs and surface wear, especially around edges and hinge points. No visible cracks in the plastic. Manual clips intact and holding firmly. Overall, this looks like a used but well-kept copy, not a shelf queen, but not abused either. The kind of game that was played, enjoyed, and then put back where it belonged. The bigger picture. Seeing the interior completes the story told by the front and back covers. This isn't just a disc, it's a complete early 2000s console artifact. Physical manual, distinctive proprietary media, thoughtful case design. It's a reminder of when opening a game felt ceremonial. You didn't just boot it up, you opened the case, flipped through the manual, admired the disc, and then entered Tony Hawk's world.